thank you all for coming out this morning. I want to introduce everyone that's here. I'm Chief David Heights with Calera Police Department. We have Calera Detective Jacob Reach here as well, Special Agent in charge of FBI David Fitzgibbons, District Attorney for Shelby County Matt Casey is here, Ken Atchison is here from Crime Stoppers, and then Richard Bradshaw is here as well. And what we want to talk to you about today is this is a cold case that we have reopened. This case was investigated approximately 10 years ago, and at our detective bureau, we've had a total turnover since that time. We brought in Detective Reach from Jefferson County, and he has an extensive background in investigations, and we've really learned a lot from him. He's really helped our young detectives do a great job, and frankly, we're not accustomed to having unsolved cases. They've spoiled me. It just seems like for a while, everything these guys were investigating, they were solving. Well, the reason we're looking into this case is because when they went back through some of our unsolved cases, they found that there's probably some investigative techniques that have changed since then. We've got a new, fresh set of eyes looking at these cases, but there's also some investigative leads that were missed in the past that we are now rectifying. We feel like that every family deserves our best, and we treat everything that way. We want to investigate this case and every other case just like it was a family member. And we don't feel like, to this point, this case has been given its due. So they've been investigating it for a while. We've had a great deal of help from the FBI. We've had some out-of-state interviews that they've done for us. We've also used some of their profilers and other assets that I'm sure the special agent in charge will speak about in a minute. And we really want to get some closure for this family. They deserve closure. I don't know whether we'll be able to solve exactly what happened, but what we will be able to say when we're finished is that we've done absolutely everything within our power to get the answers and to bring closure for this family. Next, I'd like to bring up Detective Jacob Reach.
So just a brief information in reference to the disappearance of Julie Ray. She was 37 years of age at the time of disappearance. It was on Christmas Day was the last point of contact in 2015, and she hasn't been heard from since. Our objective today is to request anyone who may have known Julie or had contact with Julie, whether friend, acquaintance, family member, to contact us so that we can have an opportunity to speak with them. Any information is not too small. We are hopeful that someone will be able to provide us with additional names of individuals that we can speak with, and our objective is to locate Julie. And I'm going to let Special Agent visit.
Thank you, Detective Reach, and I want to thank Chief Heiss for having us here today on such an important matter. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dave Fitzgibbons. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI Birmingham Division. Our hearts are with Julie Ray's family, especially Mr. Bradshaw, as he's been haunted for the past 10 years with Julie's disappearance. The FBI Birmingham Division has been working with the Calera Police Department hand in hand to try and solve this case. And we're at a point now where we are seeking the public's help. No tip is too small. So if anybody has any information whatsoever on her whereabouts or her disappearance, we ask that you please reach out and share that information. FBI Birmingham is going to continue to support Calera PD on this matter. We're providing resources, investigative techniques. We're using our behavioral analysis unit, as Chief Heiss mentioned, to provide an investigative strategy, look over the file, and develop new leads to bring closure to this case. The FBI collaborates frequently with our federal, state, and local law enforcement partners. Whether there's a federal nexus or not, if there's not, we're going to provide assistance when asked. That's what we do. Partnerships are at the forefront of everything we do at FBI Birmingham. We leverage resources such as our FBI's evidence collection team, our tactical teams, and we have technical proficiency when it comes to digital data and devices, and we utilize the Tennessee Valley Regional Computer Forensics Lab that could do extensive analysis to provide assistance to our partners with difficult investigations such as this. Thank you. Next, I'll pass it over to Mr. Atkinson with Crime Stoppers.
Good morning. I'm Ken Atkinson with Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama, and we're honored to be a part of this process this morning. I would just encourage you, if you have any information, and I will echo what Detective Reach said, whether you think it's just insignificant or it's just information that police need to have, Crime Stoppers is the perfect avenue for you to get that information to law enforcement and remain anonymous. Crime Stoppers is completely anonymous. You can call 254-7777. Visit us, Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama, on our Facebook page or our webpage. Submit your tip. You'll never be asked for your name. You'll never be asked for anything to identify who you are, and you'll be eligible for a cash reward of up to $5,000. So I would certainly encourage you, if you have any information on this case, to use Crime Stoppers so we can get that information to the law enforcement agency, and they can work this case and hopefully bring closure to this family. Thank you very much, and up next is Mr. Bradshaw.
My daughter went missing. The last time I heard from her was December the 24th. We feel like somebody knows something. If I could just let somebody know. She's very well missed. If she can hear this, please, Julie, give us a call. We will come get you, honey. We love you very much. And I want to thank all these gentlemen up here for their help. And thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Bradshaw. I do want to say that when we called all of these partners up here and asked for help, there was no hesitation. They've given us everything we've asked for and more. And we would be foolish not to try to use these resources to the best of our ability. We can do a lot here, but when you add our partners, it just adds so much more. And I know we've always felt that way, and we appreciate FBI, we appreciate Crime Stoppers, and our district attorney's office. Matt gets a lot of crazy calls from me with crazy questions, and he never fails to answer them. He probably laughs when he gets off the phone, but he's serious while I'm still talking to him, and I appreciate that too. If anybody has any questions, we can answer them.
Yeah, Detective Reach, can you kind of just give us a quick overview of the facts of the case, where she was last seen, and if there's any indication of where she was heading, anything like that? Just kind of give us a quick overview of.
So she was last seen here in Calera. Again, it was reported that she was last seen December 24th, 2015. The individual who reportedly last saw her, unfortunately, is now deceased. We have information that we believe that she was in a lifestyle that would be consistent with wanting to get out of that lifestyle and maybe try to relocate. So that's one thought process. We haven't ruled out anything as far as the disappearance. Hopefully that answers your question.
Are there indications of foul play or anything in this case?
Again, we don't have anything to support that. We have it as an unclassified disappearance, and that's the route that we're going. We have utilized not only our partners, but also other aspects. Technology has changed within the last 10 years, so we're hopeful that we can go back, and we looked into facial recognition to try and locate her at other parts of the country if she would have relocated. We've interviewed individuals that we do know that had contact with her, and we're just looking for additional information that may help us.
For Chief Heitch or Special Agent Fitzgibbons, can you talk a little bit about the importance of the partnership between the FBI and Calera PD or any local municipality when investigating cases like this? I know you guys talked in depth about some of the resources, but anything else that you would want to add to talk about how important that partnership is when taking on cases like this?
Yeah, we could probably both add to that, but, you know, my history was as a Fed. I was there 32 years. And one thing that I see sometimes with local agencies is they like to compartmentalize stuff and keep it within. Us reopening a case that was investigated by our police department 10 years ago is not a real favorable thing for us to do, but it's the right thing to do. There are investigative leads that were not properly covered 10 years ago, and I'm not throwing blame at those people. It's a totally new group and a new set of eyes. And to answer your question, there are assets that the FBI has that we don't have. One thing that they helped us with in this investigation is we were calling on another police department in a major city to go and find somebody, or actually just to go and interview someone that we had located, and we couldn't get that department to do it. We got the runaround, and we called on the FBI, and they went and did the interview for us. So there are things that are beyond our reach. I don't want to get fired by spending all of our FY 2026 money in the first couple of months, you know, with travel. So it's been a great help to us, and you probably noticed we use all of our federal resources, our different agencies. We work with all of them when it's appropriate, as well as the state. And I think that's just the wise thing to do. And I think if you don't do that as a law enforcement agency, you're not giving, like I said before, you're not giving the family your best effort to get them closure and an answer.
Chief, what does it take with a case like this? You know, it's been going for 10 years. What does it take to keep that case moving forward? You mentioned you all have learned.
Yeah, well, there are investigative leads that were there 10 years ago that we're exploiting further. So when you're doing investigative work, which was the bulk of my career, there often are investigative leads that come to a point where you could stop, and it's somewhat common to stop, but we choose not to. In a case like this is a family that needs answers. So if you come to a point in an investigative lead where it's unlikely that it's going to turn anything up, we're not stopping. We're going further. And a lot of those leads that these guys have covered in this case have led us to additional people that we've been able to interview. So with every interview they do and with every technique us or our partners utilize, we're getting closer to getting answers.
Do you know if she was living with any conditions that might have affected her judgment?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, not to my knowledge, that would lead to, you know, anything with her ability to make a decision. No.
Mr. Bradshaw, would you mind just kind of talking about your daughter a little bit? I think people would like to know about the person she was, or is.
She was a good person. She did have some problems, but she was trying to get her life together.
Are y'all from this area? How long have y'all lived here?
I've lived here all my life.
And she was born and raised here?
She was born in Birmingham.
Could you just give us another, I guess, plea to the public for any information? How important is it to your family to get closure in this?
It's very important. This is something very hard to live with, not knowing. So not knowing what happened, or where she is. You lived with it for 10 years, and it's not like her it was not like her, no matter what her circumstances was, not to notify somebody in the family and let them know where she was at.
On behalf of all of us, I think it's very brave of you and very noble of you to get up there behind the podium and speak with us, so we appreciate it, and we hope this does help. Would you speak on the person she was, like her personality? What was she into? Like, tell us who she was.
She was a good person. She would help anybody. She was having some issues with some drug problems, but she was coming out of it seeking help. And she would just about give anybody anything with a shirt off her back. I mean, she was a very kind person.
And then also, what does it mean to you to see this case reopened?
It is an answered prayer. I've sat on the church pew many Sundays, Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, praying that somebody would find something out. When these gentlemen called me, I just fell to my knees and thank God.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
I have one more question for Ken, if you don't mind. I know a lot of times when we talk with Crime Stoppers, you know, we're always talking about how it is anonymous, but maybe it might be good to kind of break down how it's anonymous. So when someone calls you, how are you not keeping their data?
Sure, when they call us, number one, like right now, if you call that number, it rolls to an answering service out of state, and your number does not show up at the answering service. And certainly you have the option to go online to our website or our Facebook page and make a tip. And once, whether you do it through the answering service or you do it yourself online, when we receive that tip, all we have is a tip ID number. That's how we know the person who sent the tip. That's what we forward to law enforcement. There's nothing in the tip that indicates who the person is that's submitting the tip. There's nothing that you have to fill out when you go online to ask you for your information. So it is completely anonymous, and we have a completely anonymous method set up for payment if you're eligible for a reward. And so at no point during the process will we ever have your information to identify who you are.
And then just two last things. I was hoping we could hear from Special Agent Fitzgibbons on partnerships, and then Detective Reach or Chief Leitch, if you could talk about what prompted this 10 years later. Is it the 10-year anniversary? Is there a new lead that you can share any information on?
Partnerships are the backbone of what the FBI does. We are here to support our partners in anything that's needed. That's a commitment I've made all throughout the FBI Birmingham Division. And Calera PD and Chief Leitch, we really appreciate this partnership. And we at the FBI know the FBI cannot do anything alone, right? It's a team effort, leveraging each other's authority, skills, accesses, abilities on this critical case, and as well as any other case throughout Northern Alabama. So partnerships are very important to everything we do. And this is where not one piece of information is insignificant. This is where we ask, someone out there knows something. This is where we appreciate our partnership with the media to get that word out. For someone to step up with a little bit of information, we have our best agents working this case with Calera PD and hoping to continue to develop new leads and get new momentum to bring closure to this case.
Without getting into the specifics at all, this was 10 years ago. 10 years later, we have newer technologies. Is that going to lead to a little bit more confidence in what you're trying to search for now with new evidence?
That certainly plays a role with new technology and new capabilities that we may not have had 10 years ago. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I'm not going to let Detective Reach answer this one. This will be our last question we're going to answer too, folks. But what has happened at our Criminal Investigative Division with the addition of Detective Reach? He was a captain with Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, and he has really brought a wealth of experience. He's one of the best investigators I've ever worked with in my 38 years, without a doubt. And he's really elevated our game. And we, like I said before, these guys were solving everything. So they took it upon themselves, Lieutenant Grant and Sergeant Bors and the entire CID staff took it upon themselves to go back and look at cases that were not solved. And when they found cases that were not solved, that had viable work that they felt like needed to be done, we reopened them and started looking at them again. So that's basically how that happened with this particular case. All right, thank you, folks. We appreciate you.